Now we are going to focus on the anatomy of buildings and their skins. We have looked at how water management strategies play a role in shaping the building facades, but what about additional elements? Protruding stories, cantilevering balconies, and verandas also plays a role in protection. Let's delve into more specific case studies showing the intricate anatomy of timber facades, exploring how material characteristics, construction methods, and architectural details come together. This is the Education and Advice Center Arenenberg near Konstanz am Bodensee. Notice how the facade is stepped at each floor level. This is not just an aesthetic choice, it serves functional purposes as well. Take a look at these facade elevation and section drawings. The stepping is also used as a niche for wooden roller shutters and acts as a fire protection barrier from floor to floor. It also houses large, asymmetrically positioned windows, made possible by a well-engineered framework with continuous diagonals that provide shear resistance. The stepped facade serves to protect the wood from weathering. Zoom into the details. The facade cladding is made from Thurgau spruce, much of it sourced locally. During construction, each wooden product used was required to have a declaration of origin as regional FSC certified wood. Lumber 4 is a 6-story building in Kristiansand, Norway. It has a recessed ground floor for commercial use and 5 floors dedicated to office spaces. The building is made from mass timber with a facade composed of curved wooden elements. The facade features prefabricated curved wooden elements painted green. The eaves above these elements are straight, creating shadows that will lead to varied weathering of the paint over time. The cladding is fire-treated pine for added safety. Floor-to-ceiling windows are a notable feature, providing natural light to the interior spaces. Consider the architecture itself. Some shapes result from exploring how the material informs its usage in construction. It's a synergy between form and function. Let's visit the Innovationsfabrik 2.0 in Heilbronn by Wächter Architekten. From a distance, the building's character is unmistakably defined by its timber facade. This isn't merely an aesthetic choice, it's a result of a methodical approach to material and form. We begin by looking at the elevation drawing of the facade. It's a truss-like structure in timber, the geometry of which defines not just the look but the logic of the entire building. Let's zoom into a corner of this timber facade. The axonometric drawings helps us to appreciate the intricate joints and how the truss-like pillars interact with the building. It's here you notice the depth and layering involved. From the inside, this complex truss structure is just a visual engaging. The rhythm of wooden members and the open spaces they frame imbue the interior with character. Developing a building like this involves a lot of pre-planning. What you see here is a one-to-one mock-up of the facade. Mock-ups help in understanding scale, proportions, and joinery in a way that drawings alone cannot. In timber construction, the devil is in the details. Take a look at this close-up. It's evident that a lot of thought has gone into the joints. Let's zoom into one of the wood-to-wood joints. This simple yet effective joinery technique avoids the use of steel implants. staying true to the essence of timber construction. The facade also houses a triple glazed installation wrapped around by a ventilated single outer layer of glass. This double facade not only protects the timber, but enhances the building's energy efficiency and noise insulation. Let's switch gears a bit. In taller buildings, the game changes significantly. In tall timber buildings, not only do outer facade elements demand attention, but considering prefabrication of the inner facades and partitions can also speed up the finishing phase and increase the overall aesthetic and thermal values of the building. The facade must cope with stronger wind pressure. Wind patterns at higher altitudes are more turbulent and can exert varying pressures on different parts of the building. As the height increases, the wind load does not scale linearly. Wind loads can be substantially higher, requiring the facade to be designed with more robust materials and connections. Height also brings another layer of complexity: fire safety. Regulations often restrict the use of combustible cladding in high buildings. Some projects push the envelope, literally using specially treated timber or incorporating non-combustible layers to meet or even exceed fire safety standards. The T3 Bayside building, designed by 3XN, showcases this as it uses glazing in all facades throughout. The T3 building, multi-story timber building in Minneapolis, designed by Michael Green Architecture and DLR Group, has a facade clad in weathering steel, which complements the aesthetic of the exposed timber structure inside. To conclude, remember, your facade is not just for show. It's a multi-layered, highly functional element of your building. Protection through layering and detailing is key.